You know that feeling? Like you're just stuck on a treadmill, working crazy hard but not really getting anywhere? Well, what if the secret to success isn't just grinding it out? The source material we're digging into today makes this awesome point. Real success isn't about luck, it's about building a specific set of high-value skills. So let's break down that blueprint.
I mean, this quote from the source just nails it, doesn't it? Effort without skill is just noise. It totally validates that frustrating feeling when you know you're putting in the hours, but nothing's happening. If your work feels like it's just getting lost in the static, it's probably because there's a piece missing. Your ideas, your hard work, they need a vehicle to actually make an impact. And that vehicle, it's skill.
Okay, so that's the big question, right? If just working harder isn't the answer, then what should we be working on? Well, the source material gives us a super clear answer. It actually breaks down 10 of these high-value skills into a simple but really powerful framework.
So we're going to walk through these skills using 3 essential pillars. First, there's the art of influence, how to make your ideas actually matter. Then we've got the power of execution, which is all about how to build valuable stuff. And finally, the foundation of sovereignty, how to build a life that is truly 100% yours.
All right, let's kick things off with pillar number 1, the art of influence. I mean, think about it. A brilliant idea that just stays stuck in your head is basically worthless, right? To make any real impact, you've got to get your vision out there, make sure people hear it, understand it, and actually act on it.
So how do you build that influence? Well, it comes down to 4 core skills. You can think of these as your personal toolkit for connecting with people, getting your vision across, and building a reputation that just naturally opens doors for you.
First up, communication. I mean, just think about any great leader you can name. Chances are they've absolutely mastered this. When you communicate effectively, you build trust. When you can speak in public, you build authority. This is the skill that lets one single, well-delivered speech literally shift an entire industry. It turns abstract ideas into powerful, real-world movements.
Now this next skill, man, it's like a force multiplier for everything else you do. You've probably heard this quote from the source before, your network is your net worth. And it's so true. It's not just about who you know, it's about what those connections can make happen.
And this is exactly why the most successful people don't just sit around waiting for opportunities. They actively build networks that literally pull them towards success. Just think about it for a second. One single introduction could change your entire career. One casual connection could turn into a total game-changing deal. A total stranger could end up being your most important mentor.
Okay, but what about influencing people when you're not even in the room? Well, that's where the power of writing comes in. It's like having an influence engine that works for you 24/7. A single persuasive email can close a deal while you're literally doing something else. A great script can open doors you didn't even know were there.
And that brings us to the next level, writing at scale. We're talking about content creation. A single video, one blog post, it can reach thousands of people, building up your reputation and creating opportunities for you even while you sleep. It's how you take the thoughts in your head and turn them into this permanent digital legacy that keeps influencing people long, long after you hit that publish button.
All right, so you've got a handle on how to get your ideas heard, but how do you actually turn those ideas into something real? That brings us to our second pillar, the power of execution. This is where the rubber meets the road. It's all about turning that vision into a tangible reality.
And this power of execution is fueled by 4 key skills. These are your hands-on, practical tools for actually building things, solving problems, and creating value in the real world.
First on the list is AI. And let's be real, it's the ultimate leverage tool of our generation. The difference is just stark. You have one person getting bogged down in manual work, while another person, armed with AI, can outperform an entire team. In today's world, ignoring AI isn't just falling behind, it's actively choosing to become obsolete. Now this next quote from the source, I absolutely love this. Code is liberation. It completely reframes programming from being just some technical skill into a form of genuine personal freedom. Let's break down why that is. Because when you know how to code, you don't have to ask anyone for permission. You don't need a boss's approval. You don't need a big chunk of funding to start building. All you need is a laptop, and you can create websites, apps, and solutions that generate real income. That is freedom. It's the ability to build an entire empire from scratch.
But, building stuff isn't just about having the tools. It's about solving the right problems. And that's where critical thinking comes in. It's like your internal compass. It's the skill that lets you look at a situation that's pure chaos, see the patterns that everyone else is missing, and find that clear path forward. While other people are panicking, you're the one seeing the opportunity.
And finally, none of this execution matters without action. Look, every single day we're faced with crossroads. Some people get totally paralyzed by all the options. They just drown in overthinking. But others, they act with clarity, and that's the difference right there. Strong decision-making is what separates them. It's that ability to just move with confidence while everyone else is stuck in analysis paralysis.
Okay, so we've covered influence and execution. But honestly, none of that really matters if your life isn't built on a rock-solid foundation. And that brings us to our final and maybe the most important pillar of them all, the foundation of sovereignty.
This idea of sovereignty, it really rests on 2 fundamental skills. Now they're not flashy, but they are the absolute bedrock.
One gives you control over your money, and the other gives you control over your personal safety. If you can master these two, you'll have the kind of security and peace of mind that lets you pursue everything else without being held back by fear.
The first piece of this is financial awareness, and it's really not about how much money you earn, it's about how you make your money work for you. Just look at this chart here. In year 1, the growth is pretty small, right? By year 10, it's starting to pick up steam. But by year 30, it is absolutely explosive. That, right there, is the magic of compounding. And understanding this is what separates people who build empires from those who just work forever to stay afloat.
And finally, sovereignty means personal security. And to be clear, this isn't about looking for fights. It's about owning your own safety. True self-defense is a mental skill first and foremost. It's that ability to stay calm under pressure, to take fear out of the equation, and to respond with control when it matters the most. That is the foundation of real, unshakable confidence.
So there you have it. Influence, execution, sovereignty. It's not just some random list of skills, It's a complete blueprint for building a life that's not just successful, but also really resilient.
And it's so important to see how these pillars all support each other. It's like a cycle. Your influence is what gives your work direction. Your execution is what builds the resources you need for your sovereignty. And then your sovereignty gives you the security to take bigger and bigger risks, which in turn fuels even greater influence. See how that works?
So, we've laid out the path here. The source material has given you the blueprint. The only question left, well, it's the one you have to answer for yourself. What's your next move? Which one of these pillars are you going to start building first?